We're there.
You there? Hopkins already in the chat saying, hey, yo. Oh. Thank you guys for tuning in to our Jacket Nation Sports pregame show as we get ready for the Class 5 District 6 semifinals happening here at Jacket Stadium tonight. I'm Alex Boyer, the owner of Jacket Nation Sports, and hope that you guys have all had a great week. As I said, we'll have the Lebanon Yellow Jackets versus Branson Pirates in the Class 5 District 6 semifinals. That game will be streamed on Misha TV and not on our YouTube page, so make sure that you go to our Twitter or Facebook page for instructions on how to buy and purchase and watch the game tonight, as that is in Misha's control, not ours. So apologize for any sort of inconvenience that puts on you guys. But before we get started, I want to take time to thank our pregame show sponsors: Heritage Bank of the Ozarks, Jonesy's Travel Center, Missouri Cooperage, Shadle's Colonial Chapel, Results Advertising, and Mercy Hospital Lebanon. You'll see a slideshow of some of our other sponsors. A big thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel or liked our videos on YouTube. Over 800 subscribers now, so make sure if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and like the video. Joining me live and in studio is a man who's been with us at Jacket Nation Sports since the get-go, Coach Zach Miller. Zach Attack, appreciate you joining the show, man.
Appreciate you having me on.
I missed you last week, a little bye week action, but just talk to me about the bye week for you guys. What's it like for the staff during that week, and are you guys like self-scouting, or do you get more time to spend with your guys and go over some of the fundamental stuff?
No, we went hunting. No, we did though, for real. No, it's good. I mean, it means you're doing something right if you're getting the bye week. It gives our kids a chance to heal up a little bit. You know, some of them have more serious injuries. Some of them just have some nicks and knacks, some bruises from throughout the season. And, just the grind of 9 straight weeks in the Ozark Conference. And, with coming back as a conference champs and playing well early on, you're going to get everybody's best shot. So, like I said, there's definitely going to be some bruises, some battle scars along the way. So it's good to give our kids a few days off, take some extra time to get healed up. And then from coaching staff perspective, we get to sit down and kind of reassess the game plan going forward and focus on some individuals and talk about what we want to work on the practice schedule and really focus on us, so fundamentals on both sides of the ball for sure, and then dive into Branson a little bit, and then obviously from a scouting, self-scout, Coach Summer, Coach Allen do a good job of that, going back and look at self-scouting for some tendencies, starting with, just little things that other teams can pick up on and maybe try to use that against us, so trying to break the tendencies, if you will, so kind of goes into, your down and distance, your play call based on down and distance, where you're at on the hash, middle, left, right. Just a lot of things go into that, obviously. And then same thing defensively. So it's good for the players. It's good for the coaches. Like I said, after a grind of 9 weeks, gives them a little time off, a little time to heal up. And then just a few days off to be kids, and go enjoy hunting and doing whatever they like to do. And then kind of bring them back refocused, healthier, ready to go.
Some people have back and forth opinions on the bye week, but, personally, I think you take it every time that you can get one because, it's one less game you have to deal with. less injury chances, and like you said, just a week to go over things that you wouldn't normally get to do during a week of prepping for an opponent. So obviously, I know your staff is probably in favor of getting that bye whenever you guys get the chance. But
for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about tonight's opponent in the Branson Pirates. You guys saw Branson at your Jamboree, which is back in August, which seems like a long time ago. But, what did you think of them at that time? Even though, Jamboree stuff's pretty vanilla, you're not showing a lot on either side of the ball. But, compared to what they look like now in early November, what's some of the differences and some of the similarities that you're seeing between this Branson Pirates team?
Well, I don't think either one of us really played many of our Friday night varsity guys because that was the second scrimmage in the Jam. So, neither side really saw a Friday night look. A lot of it was our younger kids playing, and then even when our younger kids were playing, like you said, both sides on offense and defense were both pretty vanilla. That's usually the way JAMA goes. But, since then, obviously, they have played on Friday nights, and they've been playing well. Offensively, they do what we do. They run the flex bone. So they control the clock. They move the chains. They push them ahead. If they can get explosive plays, they will, whether it be on a triple option or a midline triple or play action pass. They'll do that kind of similar to us, so they'll take what they can get, and then, when they find opportunities, they will. Defensively, really, really well. Their inside three backers are probably the best combination of three backers we've seen all year for sure on the inside. So you'll see those guys flying around for them tonight. Number 11, they're Mike. Gage DePay, really good player, plays fullback for him as well. So I would say that his value to them is just as important as what a Jack Glendenning would be to us, making plays on both sides of the ball. And they feed him a lot on offense, and he makes a lot of tackles on defense likewise. They play a really good schedule. I think they had 4 or 5 wins up to this point, and they've been in a lot of ball games as well. So they're well coached. A lot of years of experience on both sides of the ball. Good buddy of mine, Jacob Hammond's their D coordinator. He does a great job. Their OC, Chad DePay, was at Ozark for a lot of years up to this point, so we've seen him before, dating back to 16, 17 when we won the district championship, and then they're a really good football team. So I expect them to come in here and play their best ball, so we'll have to do the same.
I assume pad level's probably been a point of emphasis this week with a team like Branson. I know you guys probably preach it every week, but when you're going against a flex bone offense, I'm sure that will be one of the keys tonight that you guys have been preaching this week, going against a COC school that's been in a lot of tight games, like you said.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so you look at us, what we go against from a defense perspective, we get a lot of spread looks. I mean, we had really 2 teams all year line it up in a formation where you've got multiple tight ends or multiple backs, so it could be 22 personnel, 30 personnel, just where they're going to line it up and run it right at you, obviously in Waynesville and then Rolla. So we don't necessarily, pad level is always important, but it's not the emphasis it would be when you see that consistently weekly. Yeah. Whereas, Branson, if you watch them on film, their pad level on both sides of the ball is really good. They stay low and they get drive because they have to, because some nights they're outmanned for size and strength over in that conference, and there's a lot more teams that line it up and run it right at you. Whereas, like our D-line, a lot of times, they're worried more about a pass rush because they see a guy that's back there 7 yards deep, and the other team's in empty or trips or doubles, and they're running wide open spread looks. Now, they'll run it out of spread formations as well, and we've been pretty good about making plays on that all year, but it's just a different mindset, a different mentality. So obviously going back to having that bye week and having a 3-day head start to really adjust the endo and really get that into our kids' heads about how important pad level is, and winning the line of scrimmage tonight will be extremely important. And I think throughout the week we've seen that.
Let's go back to that Rolla game 2 weeks ago. After the game, it sounded like Coach Christian wasn't very pleased with the defensive side of the ball. I thought he thinks that there could have been a little bit more left out there, I guess you could say. But what was your thoughts on the defense that night at Rolla? Is that something that you guys have been keying on these last few weeks?
Yeah, our defense has played. I don't know what the numbers are exactly, but our defense has played outstanding all year. It's really nice to know, from an offense perspective, you have to punt or whatever. Your defense is going to get it back for you because they're going to get a stop. That night at Rolla, like I said earlier, it's just the first time you really have a team line it up with 2 backs, 2 tight ends, whatever the case may be, and just run it right at you. And that's all they've done all year. And our kids have been working on pass rush all year. And then you got some younger guys that have to step up because then we sink it into a 7-man box, and now they're getting more reps at Sam and Will. And it's not just I know a lot of people put it into the pad level and the defensive line and whatnot, and that's that's where it starts obviously. But the fits by your 3 linebackers, the way you fit up things with your safeties, it all helps each other. It all piggybacks off each other. So sometimes just the wrong fit by a linebacker can make a play look really better than what it should have been, or somebody falling asleep in the secondary and getting burnt over the top or giving up something deep. But like I said, that was really our first, we had 3 days to prep for that. And obviously we won't make excuses when we do something wrong or something doesn't go our way, but at the same time, having 3 days to prep for it versus having, I don't know, how many, 8 practice days we've had, I think you'll see a difference tonight for sure.
Obviously, big news breaking earlier this week. I think I'd be ridiculed if I didn't ask you about it or bring up conference realignment to you, but leaving the Ozark conference, that's deteriorated now. What are your thoughts on the decision to head to the COC? And I mean, I guess you probably didn't have any say in it, but just your initial thoughts whenever you heard that you guys were joining the COC.
I mean, I tell you what, it's as good a football conference as there is in the state of Missouri, and you find out what you're made of real quick for sure. There will be no easy games, but I think our program is in a position where we're ready to step it up to that level and go against the best every week, because ultimately, to get where we want to get to as a program, you have to play those teams in the postseason. So you might as well test yourself in the regular season and see how you stack up for sure. As far as like losing a rivalry game with Camdenton, I know everybody makes a big deal out of that, but we did what we had to do, what was best for us, what was best not just for football, but I think everybody needs to take into account that was for every sport and the future of our programs as well here in our school district. And they did the same thing for theirs. Wish them nothing but the best at the CMAC, and hopefully it all works out for them. But it's just a weird time. It's much like college football. Right now everybody's scrambling to get into a conference primarily for scheduling. Right now schedules are full, and if you're still waiting to see if you're going to get into a conference, you're getting left out. And you'd hate to go into a varsity schedule next year as a Class 5 school and have 4 games on the schedule, and you probably have to go out of state in order to play all those. So you definitely don't want that, not for your varsity, your sub-varsity levels, your junior high, or any of your other sports in the district either. And that's, potentially what we were looking at if we didn't jump into a conference. But as Coach Christian did a great job of, keeping everybody informed, and, throughout the last few weeks of, competitive equity will be taken into account, traveling will be taken into account, and, I think the powers that be, the ADs, the admin within the schools of the COC, the new COC, I think they did a great job of getting together and really factoring in traveling as one of the primary factors. I know enrollment was talked about as the big factor at first. I think that was the maybe the excuse, if you will, why a lot of teams were jumping ship out of conferences and forming their own. But obviously competitive equity and then, traveling is a big deal. So I think they got it right, especially for our division, the Eastern Division, being that us and Waynesville have to go a long ways.
I can go ahead and say it, but it seems like the teams that were jumping ship early were the teams that have been struggling in football and maybe looking to try to get more wins and be more competitive in just one sport. But that's the only part that really bugs me about all of it is when you're doing it for one sport. But you definitely have to commend the job that Will Christian and Dr. Schmitz and the Lebanon R3 School Board did of once they got that invite, accepted it quickly and let everybody know that they were in and they didn't want to be that team that got left out. So definitely commend them for the job that they did. But, your schedule for next year came out last night. Your first 3 out of your first 5 weeks next year against state-ranked opponents from this year's poll. So that'll be a fun challenge for your team.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, find out what you're made of early. Again, as we talked, those are the types of teams you're going to see late in November, early in December if you're fortunate enough to make it that far. Obviously, everybody's got the same goal to make it that far, and that's who you're going to run into. So, I think anybody would agree we're at a good spot right now with our program and, our system and what we're doing on both sides of the ball and some of the recent success we've had. And, let's tee it up and see how it goes.
No doubt. Your division being Lebanon, Waynesville, Glendale, Kickapoo, Nixa, Ozark, So, I mean, whenever you get to play a team that's been talked about as much as Nixa, that's only going to help your program year in and year out. But what were your guys' initial thoughts as a coaching staff when you heard that the Highway 5 rivalry trophy game during the regular season was at least coming to an end for a little bit?
Trophy staying here in Lebanon.
That's right. And the last ever Ozark Conference champions.
Yeah. So it was, we'd heard rumblings. Obviously, I don't know, halfway through the season, closer towards the end of the season, that this was obviously a possibility that the conference could be no more. It could be dismantled and people could go their own ways, or maybe not. And then, obviously the rivalry with Camdenton could not. We didn't know. So there was the possibility, as coaches and even the players knew, that, hey, this, we might be the last Ozark Conference champs, and, we might win the last Highway 5 rivalry. But, which it was good to see that we had Waynesville in our division. I guess now, I mean, honestly, if you look proximity and, games we've had in the past and who was – Waynesville would be kind of a rival. Not that they weren't before, but now especially. And then you still get some of those Ozark Conference schools like Kickapoo and Glendale in there. So that helps also create some rivalries there. And then, like I said, as far as Camdenton, I'm sure they made the best decision for their town and their school and their athletics. So, I have no ill will towards them. They can go start a Highway 54 trophy with Cap City or whatever they want to do.
That's who they play tonight.
Yeah.
So I guess that will get off to a start tonight there at Bob Shore Stadium. But, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time to join us. As always, best of luck this week, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again next week.
No doubt. Appreciate it.
That was Lebanon High School quarterback Coach Zach Miller joining us on the Jacket Nation Sports pregame show. We'll take a quick commercial break and be right back after this. You're listening to Jacket Nation Sports on YouTube.
At Heritage Bank of the Ozarks, we are committed to our neighbors. Your local dollars are invested in our local communities. With local lenders and local decisions, because at Heritage Bank, we are neighbors serving neighbors.
Hey, let me tell you the secret successful businesses already know. It's all about branding. Get recognized and get results. Results advertising, logos everything you can logo, like apparel, hats, mugs, signs, and banners. Branding your business is what Results Advertising does. Getting your name out there and on anything branding your business. The secret is Results Advertising in Lebanon at resultsadv.com and 417-533-7741.
Jonesy's Travel Center is located at 2031 West Elm Street in Lebanon. Be sure to be on the lookout for the upcoming Jacket ID promotion that allows student drivers and Lebanon R3 school faculty members to receive a handful of discounts. Jonesy's wishes the Yellow Jackets good luck this year.
Losing a loved one is painful, but at Shadle's Colonial Chapel, we make the hard times a little easier to bear. With affordable funeral and cremation services, we offer 2 spacious chapels, a full-service banquet area for families to gather, plus the latest technology for honoring your loved one. Our website has everything you need, from pre-arrangements to flowers, even a place to reminisce. Let us help you remember your loved one. Shadle's Colonial Funeral Chapel, the area's most often selected funeral service.
Back here on the Jacket Nation Sports pregame show, brought to you by Heritage Bank of the Ozarks, Jonesy's Travel Center, Missouri Cooperage, Shadle's Colonial Chapel, Results Advertising, and Mercy Hospital, Lebanon. We talked to Lebanon High School quarterbacks coach Zach Miller right before that commercial break about tonight's game against Branson, but let's go through some of the other fall sports who have now concluded their season since our last show, and still got cross country and boys swim also competing. So we'll start with boys swim. At the last chance swim meet, Benjamin Nelson and Eli Havens improved the chances for swimming at the state championships next week. Benjamin Nelson improved his 100 free time by just under 1 second, and he is ranked 56th in the state for the 100 free and 61st in the 50 free. Eli Havens dropped his 100 butterfly time 2 seconds to surpass the state consideration time. The team will find out Sunday if they are state meet swimming in the meet next Thursday. cross country. The cross country team will head to the state championships tomorrow and race in the Class 4 state championships. Lebanon had 5 state qualifiers, which is the most they have sent since 2009. Ella Johnson, Abigail Tague, Peter Stunja, Kelby Connor, and Liam Allen are the state qualifiers. Abigail Tague jumped to the front of the pack and finished the day in 3rd place and ran a new school record with a time of 18:47, which breaks the previous record of 18:53 from 2007, held by Michelle Hicks. For the Lebanon volleyball team, they had a 19-win season come to an end against Nixa in the opening round of their district play a couple weeks ago, while Lebanon soccer lost to Ozark 8-0 in districts on Monday and will start looking to build on their youth heading into the off-season. Back over to football now. Lebanon Branson tonight on Misha TV. So I see a couple people in the chat asking if they were going to be able to view the game from YouTube tonight, and unfortunately we are not able to stream the game on YouTube. You will have to purchase that through Misha TV. That's MSHSAA TV. You can go to our Jacket Nation Sports Facebook page or Twitter to find out how to purchase access to the game tonight. Coming into the game, Lebanon averaging 47 points on offense, while the defense allowing double digits for the first time all year with 10 points allowed per game. The Pirates are averaging 21 points on offense and allowing 25 points per game on defense. Last time these two teams met, last year in the Class 5 district quarterfinals, where the Yellow Jackets were victorious 40-0. It was just the second time those two teams had met, with the first time coming in the 2017 district playoffs, where the Yellow Jackets won 50-22. I would say that we would see Branson in the future for the Central Ozark Conference, but the Pirates being one of the first teams that left their conference, and they will join the Ozark Mountain Conference. Lebanon will be fully healthy tonight after having a few guys banged up. That last matchup against the Bulldogs, the Week 9 game where the Yellow Jackets were victorious 40-12. Should be a fun matchup between two flexbone offenses, and can't wait to bring you guys some football on Misha TV tonight. Let's take a look at some of the scores from last week while Lebanon was enjoying that much-needed bye week. Camdenton beating Rolla 17-14 at home after a game-winning drive by the Lakers in the Class 5 District 5 quarterfinals. That was a fun game to watch. Rolla played really well and almost beat the Lakers at home, or on the road, I guess I should say. But the Camden came out victorious with a touchdown drive led by Cade Durnan. Willard beat Central 36-14 in the Class 5 District 6 quarterfinals, while Branson defeated the Glendale Falcons 41-38 in overtime on a game-winning field goal by the Pirates. Let's see here. Republic victorious over the Parkview Vikings 42-6, and that would conclude the key district games from last week. Heading into the semifinals, we've talked about our game that we will be calling on our broadcast, but let's look at some of the other top district semifinal games around the area tonight. In the other semifinal in Lebanon's district, the Class 5 District 6, we'll have Willard at Republic, a matchup between two rival schools where the Republic Tigers were victorious over the Willard Tigers in the regular season by just 1 point. So should be interesting to see how that score pans out. Washington at Helias in the Class 5 District 5 semifinal with, as we mentioned earlier, with Zach Miller on the show. Capital City traveling to Camden tonight in the Class 5, the other Class 5 District 5 semifinal. Carthage will head on the road to Raytown South to compete in the District 7 semifinal, with Belton and Webb City being the other semifinal matchup. A little bit of a quick show tonight, but I think that will probably wrap it up for this week's Jacket Nation Sports pregame show. Make sure you start getting ready to head out to the stadium. Really nice weather for, beginning of November football weather. 67 degrees right now at Jacket Stadium. Make sure you be loud tonight as the Yellow Jackets get ready to host Branson. We'll be live at 6:30 tonight. I'll be on the play-by-play with Mike Flanders as my color commentator. Make sure that if you have any questions about the stream tonight, as it will not be on YouTube, it will be on Misha TV. Again, it will be on Misha TV, MSHSAA TV. You can search Lebanon in the search bar and then click on the Jacket Nation Sports stream and purchase it for $10.60. You can go to our Facebook or Twitter page to find the direct link, but remember, no YouTube stream tonight. I want to thank Heritage Bank of the Ozarks, Jonesy's Travel Center, Missouri Cooperage, Shadle's Colonial Chapel, Results Advertising, and Mercy Hospital Lebanon for sponsoring our Jacket Nation Sports pregame show as always. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our website for game stories, watch our stream live tonight, and we will see you soon. Go Jackets!